Okay, and let's talk about the things Trump is saying about Prime Minister Modi. Now, during his address at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation CEO Summit in Busan in South Korea, US President Donald Trump hinted that a trade deal with India could be finalized soon. He praised his strong relationship with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, calling him a nice, tough-looking man and expressing deep respect and affection for him. Recalling India-Pakistan tensions, Trump reiterated to have intervened to prevent a war, mentioning that he had threatened to impose 250% tariffs on both countries if the conflict continued. He also mimicked Prime Minister Modi and told how Prime Minister Modi had asserted that India will fight. Trump claimed that within 48 hours of tariff threat, the two nations then later on backed down and no lives were lost, according to him. He called it a moment that made him feel proud, calling millions of lives may have been saved. He concluded by reaffirming his admiration for Prime Minister Modi and his optimism about a forthcoming India-US trade agreement.
If you look at India and Pakistan, so I'm doing a trade deal with India, and I have great respect and love. As you know, for Prime Minister Modi, we have a great relationship. Likewise, the Prime Minister of Pakistan is a great guy, and the Field Marshal, they have a Field Marshal. You know why he's a Field Marshal? He's a great fighter. He really is. He's a great guy, too. And so I know them all. And I'm reading that 7 planes were shot down. They're going at it, and they're really starting to go. And it's a big thing. These are 2 nuclear nations, and they're really going at it. And I called Prime Minister Modi. I said, we can't make a trade deal with you. No, we must make a trade deal. I said, no, we can't. You're starting a war with Pakistan. We're not going to do it. And then I called Pakistan. I said, we're not going to do trade with you because you're fighting with India. And, you know, 2 nuclear nations. And they said, no, you should let us fight. They both said that. You know, they're warring. They're strong people. You're fighting with India. And, you know, 2 nuclear nations. And they said, no, you should let us fight. They both said that. You know, they're warring. They're strong people. I'll tell you what. Prime Minister Modi is the nicest looking guy. He says, and he looks like you'd like to have your father, like, he's a killer. He's tough as hell. No, we will fight. I said, whoa, this is the same man that I know. But after a little while, and they're good people, and after literally 2 days, they called up and they said, we understand, and they stopped fighting. How is that? Isn't that amazing? Now, you think Biden would have done that? I don't think so. Most people wouldn't have thought of it, but, you know, they wouldn't have thought of it.